What's going on YouTube? Attorney Tom here. We're going to start this week out with a bang. We're going to be discussing a very high profile case. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch Shrimp Tails lawsuit, or potential lawsuit. For anybody who doesn't know what's going on, let me catch you up to speed. Comedic writer Jensen Karp found what he believes to be shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He then tweeted at the makers of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that shrimp tails were in his cereal. In response to this tweet, the makers of Cinnamon Toast Crunch denied the allegations, which kind of pissed off Jensen Karp. And in response to this, Jensen took these allegations to a whole nother level. In his words, not mine, it was the gaslighting by the makers of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that got him upset. So, after further investigation, Jensen still stood by his assertion that these were in fact shrimp tails. He actually found other things which he believes to be anything from rat feces to dental floss inside that same package of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And so this whole thing has taken the internet by storm, and the makers of Cinnamon Toast Crunch are even sending a DNA kit to Jensen so he can put the contents of the cereal into a test and we can find out for sure. And if you didn't get all that, let me sum this entire situation up with a meme. So, the guy who found shrimp in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. What? He's accusing General Mills of gaslighting him and now he might sue. And he's married to Topanga from Boy Meets World, so they probably have a good lawyer. So there you go. But why am I here? Well, if they sue, what are the grounds for suing? Would it be a successful lawsuit? And if it was successful, how much money would they make? As always, this channel covers law, finance, or freedom. Today, we're going to be talking about the law. Specifically, does the shrimp tails guy have a valid case? And would I take that case as a personal injury lawyer myself? We answer the hard-hitting questions on my channel. But before we begin, I'm not above shamelessly asking you to hit that like button and consider joining this channel if you want. My goal is always to make content worthy of your time, and we're growing like crazy. I think we just passed 220,000 subscribers. And sidebar, there's a lot of chit chat going on in my comment section calling me short. I'm not sure where this is coming from. I've heard everything from, oh look, it's the short version of legal, to, oh look, this guy's just really short. I even made a poll last night asking you how tall y'all thought I am, and the overwhelming answer was like 5'6". Alex! Come here. Come on, camera. Alex.
What?
How tall am I?
5'11".
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you are.
I'm 6'1".
No, you're not.
I'm 6'1". I'm not even 6 foot. I'm 6'1". Height reveal at 300,000 subs. I will literally get on a measuring tape thing. So let's get back to the alleged lawsuit. Can you sue if you got food poisoning or you suffered some form of damage as a result of poorly made or incorrectly made food? And the short answer is yes. I'm aware of some colleagues of mine who have taken food poisoning cases and have gotten 6 or 7 figure settlements out of them. I even know of a case where a guy got his arm amputated because he ate some bad oysters. He was eating some oysters that weren't sanitary, or oysters are raw to begin with, but he ate them, and in the course of eating them, he wiped his hand and it got into an infection or got into a cut on his arm, and it infected his whole arm, and he had to lose his entire arm. They had to amputate it. So yeah, I mean, that would be the more severe 6-7 figure cases. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. But these cases are actually pretty difficult to prove because of causation. Essentially what that means is you have to prove that the food you ingested that the defendant was responsible for caused your food poisoning. And that can actually be pretty difficult. Let's say an individual eats red meat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not sure why you would eat it for breakfast. I guess steak and eggs. And they're alleging that the dinner red meat is the cause of their food poisoning. Well, that's kind of hard to narrow down because they had red meat cooked by 3 different people for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So oftentimes when you're identifying these cases, you have to prove or have to be on the lookout for how you're going to prove that the food poisoning actually occurred by the defendant, and were they negligent in any way? Obviously, in this case, you don't put shrimp tails into a box of cereal, box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So if these are in fact shrimp tails, there's definitely some form of negligence going on the part of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But that's not the only part of the analysis. What drives civil cases is damages. So that example I said where the guy lost his arm from the oysters. Well, those are huge damages. You don't have an arm for the rest of your life. But as it relates to this shrimp tails case, I don't really see that many damages. To my knowledge, the writer, Jensen, the alleged victim, hasn't gotten food poisoning. I don't know how much exactly he ate of the cereal before identifying the alleged shrimp tails, but it appears that his stomach may have hurt. He's submitted to testing. I don't think the tests have come back with anything conclusive, or we would have heard about it. So if he actually didn't suffer any damages, the General Mills Company might be liable, but liable for what? If nothing happened, they could be liable for a refund of the cereal box, maybe a little bit more than that for having to make Jensen go through this trouble. So I definitely don't think it's a very high damage case as of right now. Now, if the test came back and it said that Jensen developed some form of crazy disease from the shrimp tails, or what if he had an allergic reaction to shrimp and it caused him to choke up and die, then it would be a huge case. But as of right now, he's very lucky in that nothing happened. Actually, let me clarify that statement. If these are actually shrimp tails, which I don't know if they are or not, Jensen's very lucky that nothing else happened to him. It was just an overall bad experience. But without damages driving a case, there really isn't much to go after. So ultimately, as lawyers, you need damages to prevail because at the end of the day, everything is really about money. Because remember, the only relief a civil court can grant is monetary damages. So if there are no damages, there could be little to no monetary relief. So kind of what's the point? So ultimately, as it stands right now, if Mr. Jensen called my office and wanted to pursue legal action against General Mills for the shrimp tails, I would tell him, I'm sorry, I just can't take your case. It's too small. But it is pretty funny. Okay, that's it for today's video. I am 6'1", but thank you for watching. Please make sure you leave any comments, questions, concerns down below. I'll be sure to answer them. And subscribe to this channel if you want to be a part of this community. We always talk about law, finance, or freedom. And today's video was about law. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
After a thorough investigation done by Alex Cardenas, it has been concluded that Tommy is actually 6'1" and not 5'11", apparently.